I've been a professional Counter-Strike player for the past 8 years. I played 5 majors and won some trophies around the world. However, towards the end of 2023, I was benched in my team due to my poor performances, and for the first time in my career, I was teamless. It was a tough mental battle, and also I had to find a way to bounce back. I feel like my main weakness was my aim, thus I've set a goal. Get aim so good that I can compete with the young players. I've decided to try aim trainers. I've trained for 30 days on my own and saw nice progress, but I feel like it was not enough. I wanted more, so I hired the best coach I could find. He's one of the best performing players in aim trainers, also specializing in coaching aim in all FPS games. I paid for an 8-week program and it was extensive but also expensive, costing $1,600 US. Here, I did not realize that I am signing up for weeks of pain and frustration. In our initial meeting, he asked me what my expectations for this coaching were. I told him all about my struggles and my goals. I was given the first set of tasks in aim labs, and he also ordered me to record my CS gameplay for the analysis. I was confident, it all seemed simple at first. I'm a very experienced pro, so I expected that he will tell me that I did well, but I was naive. I prepared everything for him and I waited a day or two before he came back with the first initial report. And oh boy, the results were unexpected, to say the least. The report was full of mistakes. Overflicking, tension management, bad long-range aim, bad movement reading, and sometimes not even aiming at all. I realized that I was too ignorant. Even after years of gaming, I was laughably uneducated to see simple mistakes. It was shocking to me. Sure, we focused a bit on my strengths as well, but there were loads of moments where my aim was on point, yet I couldn't explain why I was on point. It's only after my coach pointing it out that I started to actively think about the way I aim and become more aware of what I do with my mouse that makes me strong or weak. So with the amount of identified errors, it is time to fix them, or at least try to fix them. I'm dedicating 40 minutes every day to play a task list that my coach provided to me to start with. The task list focuses not only on my weak points, but also cultivating the strengths such as fast initial flicks and click timings. The main goal right now is consistency for me. I need to show up day in, day out in order to make things effective. And I do stick to it. Every day I play as much as I can bear, but it is hard, it's frustrating, and at some points I even want to give up. Now, I am glad I did not give up. So let's talk about whole experience, because I think it can help a lot of players of really any level. And by the way, yes, this is a cut, so I was re-recording this because I was at the tournament and I couldn't finish it in time. So now here we go, second try. So by whole experience, I mean everything, starting from actual coaching sessions through what was going in my head until today, effectively few weeks and months after the course ended, and my conclusion to all of this. And was it even worth it? So the structure of the course looked like this. Every day I would do a task list of aiming scenarios which were given to me by the coach. He created these task lists based on my weaknesses, which he spotted in my gameplay that I sent him prior to our first meeting. This gameplay consisted of face-it games, practice matches, and deathmatch sessions. This task list would be updated every single week by my coach, depending on how much I was improving in those areas. Again, he saw if and how I improved through leaderboards within aim labs and by replays I would send him. We met on a Discord call every week to give each other update on how things are going, what my thoughts are, and what his observations were. It became a journey, a living document of constant optimization and feedback. And honestly, the report I was receiving exceeded my expectations. They were very well written, easy to read and understand. I'm attaching them in the video description for full transparency. They are full of explanations, reasonings, and gifs of my gameplay where he is trying to show me my weakness or strength. It helps me visualize things a lot, and honestly, to this day, I find myself going back and read these reports to see constant improvements. Whenever I had an issue with a task where I felt like I hit a brick wall, I messaged my coach and he would, within few hours, reply back. It truly felt like he was there for me anytime, for any reason, for a whole duration of 2 months. One thing that I realized was extremely helpful was that during one of our sessions, he asked me to review a random player and spot his weaknesses and think of a task list that would help him fix what he did poorly. This for a moment made me a coach instead. This exercise wasn't as fun for me as actually improving on my routine, but it made me think. It made me understand what aiming is actually about. It made me more competent on the topic because suddenly I had to teach someone else what to do. This is also known as Feynman technique, which is basically learning topic by teaching it to others, and partly this is exact reason why this video is made. I want to teach you something I had learned and it became obvious to me but might not be obvious to you yet. Now that we know how the coaching looks, let me show you what goes on in my head during the coaching. As you know, for any competition in the world, mindset is half of the success and esport is not different. But let's be honest, it started rough for me. At the beginning I was really struggling. Every time I finished any task, I saw the leaderboards and saw hundreds, if not thousands of people better than me who are not professional players. Am I really even worse than casual players? And this starts playing tricks with my mind, but there was my coach comforting me and making sure that this is completely okay and normal. Yes, it can be a hard pill to swallow, but you have to put your ego in the pocket and realize that no matter how much you try, some things are never going to be perfect. You can practice, improve, but if you're chasing perfection at any given moment, you're fighting already a losing battle. Thanks to words of courage from minigod, I grind every day to the point where sometimes I don't do my task list just once, but 2 or 3 times. And finally, after week 3, it feels as if things suddenly clicked and my eyes opened. I started to notice a lot of improvements both in leaderboards but also Counter-Strike. It's hard to explain, but I felt sometimes that I got a kill that I shouldn't be getting. And this feeling was happening multiple times a day during my team practice. And the timing couldn't be better. This was around the time for major qualifier for first CS2 major, where we had insane performance as a team, but also was statistically one of my best tournaments. I felt so confident, on point, and my preparation clearly paid off to an extent I didn't even expect. It surely isn't only reason of our team success, but it is definitely a major reason of my individual success. I treated the aim coach as an investment and it is paying dividends. And by the way, disclaimer, this video is not sponsored by anyone to make you buy such course. I think if you're not a pro player with steady income, you'd better be off spending money elsewhere or differently. However, if you're a pro player and you never did a deep dive into aim, I think you will benefit. As you know, any marginal improvement goes a long way in competitive environment like esports. And even if you are not going to improve in aiming, which I highly doubt anyway, you are at least going to understand why you are so good and you can pass that knowledge further, for example, your teammate, and in return, he will make your team stronger. It is safe to say that this journey has led me to become a better version of myself. Have I achieved my goal? I honestly feel like I have shrunk the gap between me and the young generation of aim prodigies, but only time will tell by how much. I have found a new method not only to train my aim, but also to warm up, and I have developed new, more aggressive playstyle which I can master and switch between to stay more versatile. I am more confident in my aim duels. Even if I am in disadvantages, I can rely on my pure and raw skill. I was always playing supportive roles, which are passive by nature, so the ability to flip the switch and offset it with more aggression is being a step closer to more complete player, which is my ultimate goal. As with anything in life, every step forward comes with its hidden challenges, and it is no different with the journey I'm sharing with you right now. I have observed that my struggles with having consistent aim needs correcting. I have new, more correct technique of shooting. That is why I need to relearn something I have been doing wrong for years. That is why finding more stability is the new goal for myself. The way I hold my mouse, the way I apply pressure on the mouse, the way I flick, track, or read the movement of enemies are all things I take into account right now. I need to make sure it is more natural, so I don't have to think about it, I just do it by nature. That is when my consistency will be where I want it to be, and that is the personal challenge I'm going to focus on in the near future. For those who are interested, I've documented my whole journey. Head down to the links in description below where I openly share everything I can. These documents are very detailed and long, so if this video doesn't answer all of your questions, that document definitely will. Before we end the video, I want to say a couple of statements that will be interesting to you since you watched this until the end. For my own conclusion, I truly believe that aim coaches for teams will become norm in the future. If having these personal coaches or individual workshops are extremely valuable for me as a professional player, imagine how valuable it would be for up-and-coming or aspiring pro players who maybe watch these kind of videos. Maybe not as expensive or extensive as my coaching was, but you know, at least by watching videos like this is a very good start. Also, I had an idea for anyone who wants to take this one step further is to create a task list within a team where players can compete against each other and push each other for better improvements. I was told that some teams already did this in the past and they've seen steady improvements across the board in every player on the team. With that being said, I want to thank you for sticking all the way through. I hope you found it valuable and it will spark interest inside of you to try some of these things I mentioned here. Try sharing this video with a friend or a teammate to help even more people and reach whoever might be interested in seriously improving in any FPS title there is. If you do that, I will be humbled. And in the meantime, I will see you in the next video, which should be already somewhere up on the screen recommended by YouTube. Bye-bye.